In this video, we are going to see a program based on the file modes and how we can open the file in the W plus mode or in the R plus mode or in the plus modes. Okay, we have seen the read, write, append mode. Now we can see the read plus, write plus and append plus mode. So in this mode, I have first of all opened a file. The name of the file is filemodes.txt. I've opened it in W plus mode. So what is the feature or the property of W plus file mode is if the file does not exist, it will be created, and then if there is some previously existing content in that file, it will get erased. So a blank file will be opened and you can read as well as write to this file. Okay, so I've opened this file in W plus mode. If the file pointer is null only, that means the file has not been opened. Otherwise, the file has been opened successfully. Then I'm going to read this file. Now, since I've opened it in write mode, what will happen? If the file does not exist, a new blank file will be opened. Or if the file exists, then that file only will be opened. But whatever content was already existing in that file, that will be erased and then it will be opened. So in both the possible ways, what I will be having with me is a blank file in which I have to perform some operation. So I'm going to read from this file now. The first thing that I'm going to do is I have a blank open file like this. Suppose this is my file and now there's nothing written inside this file. So if I go to read this file, what will happen? I will get to read only the end of file character. Since there is nothing in this file, means the very first character in the file is the end of file character. And soon as I get end of file character, I must stop reading, right? So what I'm going to do, you can extract a particular character from this file using this fgetc function. Okay, you can write it in two parts. Either you write it like this, char c is equal to fgetc and then file pointer, and then you check if c is equal to end of file or not. Okay, and then you perform whatever operation you want as per the if condition. So first extract the character, check if it is end of file. If yes, then you stop reading, otherwise you continue reading. Or within one or in an optimized way or in a shorter way, how you can do it is fgetc fp. This thing you write over here. Okay, and you're going to test whether c is end of file character or not. So that is what I've done. First I'm going to obtain the character and store it in the variable c, and then I'm going to check this whole thing whether it is end of file or not. So how this will execute, if there is a expression here, we have to see the precedence of the operator, right? Whatever is in the brackets or the parenthesis, that will get executed first. So first what will get executed? This one, whatever I've highlighted. First what will get executed? fgetc, that function call will be executed. So I'll extract the character and store it in the C variable. And then I'm going to check the C variable, whether it is equal to the end of file character or not. Okay. So either you write it this way in two parts. First you extract the character and then check if it is end of file character or not. Or in one if statement, you can check it like this. Okay. Remember this way of writing it. So since the first character itself is end of file, this if condition is satisfied and what will get printed? File is empty. Okay. If it was not end of file, I would have printed file is not empty. But now file is empty. So if condition is satisfied and I'm going to print file is empty. Since the file is empty, I want to write something inside the empty file. So using fputs function or fputs function, you can write a particular string to the file. Which string I want to write? String str. I have initialized the string here. The sky is blue. I want to write this statement, the sky is blue, inside my file, empty file. So after this, let me see, when I execute the line number 29, what will happen? I will be able to write this string, the sky is blue, inside my file. So after this much, how the file will look, let us see. So if this is my file, the name of the file is filemodes.txt. So now in this file, initially it was empty. Now I have written something inside it. What I have written? I have written the sky is blue. So now this much is there in my file. This thing string has been written. Okay. Now I'm going to read the file, read the content of the file. Now tell me one thing. I have written this much content in my file. Now where the file cursor or the file pointer will be? Now the file pointer or the file cursor will be after this exclamation mark, right over here. First I wrote the character T. So the file pointer came over here. Then it came after this, then here. Then file pointer came here, here, here. And as soon as I write a character, file pointer will move ahead. We know that. So that is how after writing this whole string, the file pointer has come over here after the last character. So the file pointer is here. Now if I want to perform read operation, I can do it directly. Why? Because I've opened my file in W plus mode. W plus mode gives the privilege so that you can read and write your file using this single mode, right? You don't have to open your file again in some other mode to read it. Just open it in the plus mode, then you can read as well as write. Suppose I had opened it in the write mode, W mode, then I had to first close my file, then again open my file in read mode, and then I would be able to read the file. But because of W plus mode, the file is open in this W plus mode, so I can write and read anytime. So now file pointer is here. So from this position onwards, I will be able to read, or from this position onwards, I will be able to write. Okay. So if I'm going to read from this position, what I will read? There is nothing, right? There is only end of file character, right? There is an end of file character. That means I will not be able to read anything, right? Because there is nothing after this position onwards. So when I read my file, currently the file pointers were at the end of the file. So what will happen? No content will get read. If I try to read using this fgetc function, if I want to read the content of my file, after the file pointer I can read. So or after the file cursor, you can say this is called cursor or file pointer. So after this, from this position onwards, I can read, but there is nothing available to read after this. So what will happen? There will be no content displayed, right? So when I go to print the content of the file using this syntax, what will get printed? Nothing. No content will get printed. So suppose I want to go to the beginning of my content of the file and then read it. Means if I want to change the position of the file cursor, means suppose currently it is here, I want to bring it to the beginning of the file, that is before the character T of the word the. I want to bring the cursor here, and from here onwards I want to read the content of my file. Then which function can we use, which we have seen up till now? Anyone? We can use the rewind function. Using the rewind function and passing the file pointer to it as a parameter, I will be able to change the position of the cursor from whichever location it is to the start of the file. Okay, cursor may be anywhere in the file. The cursor may be over here, or it may be over here, anywhere. But when I apply my rewind function, wherever the cursor is in the file, it will automatically get shifted, or it will jump to the beginning of the file. Means before the first character in the file, before the letter T in the word the file pointer will come over here. So now file pointer is where? At the start of the file. So from here onwards, I will be able to read, right, the total content of the file. That is what I want to do. So if I want to read from the beginning of the file, use rewind function to bring the cursor back to the starting position, right? So now, suppose I don't call this rewind function, then where my cursor is now? My cursor is over here. I have not called the rewind function, right? So my cursor is over here only. Now what I want to do, from this current position of the cursor, I want to write something. Means this content is already there in my file. After this content, from here onwards, I want to write something inside my file, right? It is possible. Why? Because whatever is the position of the cursor, from there onwards, you can read or write. So I'm going to write from the end of file, from that position onwards. So how I can do it? Using any syntax of reading, any syntax of writing I can use. Either I can use fputc function, fputS function, I can use fwrite function, or any function, or fprintf function, right? We have seen all these functions to write something inside my file. And this syntax we know, right? We are going to write character by character, right? What I want to write? I want to write the string str2. What is the string str2? The string str2 is it's a sunny day. This string I want to write inside my file from the end of file position onwards, right? So I'm going to use my while loop. I will run it for infinite number of times, but I have to break when the null character of the string is reached. Means what I'm going to do, it's a sunny day. This whole thing will get printed. After this, which character is there here in the string? Null character. So as soon as the character of my string is a null character, I must break from this infinite while loop. Otherwise, if it is not a null character, I will keep printing the characters of the string and I will write it inside my file, right? Using this fputc function. Fputc function, what it does, it will write a single character inside my file, right? We have seen the syntax. You can revise it from the previous videos. I hope you understand this. So now I'm just printing a message for um, a guidance purpose, like successfully written from the end of file onwards. So this printf, what it will do, it will print this string or this text at the output window, so that we know that yes, successfully we have been able to write something from the end of file position onwards inside the file. So now what I have written str2. What is str2? It's a sunny day. So now how my file will look, let us see. So I have successfully written it's a sunny day. Okay. So this is my content now of the file. Now next what I'm going to do, I want to read the content from the beginning. Means what? Now currently where is the position of my file pointer? Currently my file pointer is over here, right? So I want to read from the beginning, means what I have to do? Which function I need to call? I need to again call my rewind function. So what it will do? The cursor will get shifted to the start of the file position. So the cursor will come over here. So now from the cursor position onwards, I will be able to read all the content of my file, right? All the content until the end of file character. So I've applied my rewind function. Then I'm going to print the guidance message that reading from the beginning of the file. So now by analyzing this file, can you tell me what will be read? I'm going to read from the cursor position. Where is the cursor position? The cursor is currently over here at the start of the file. So how much content I'm going to read? Up to the end of the file character. That means the sky is blue, it's a sunny day. This whole thing will get read. So I'm going to read these two sentences, the sky is blue and it's a sunny day. And to read the content of the file, I'm going to read character by character using this while loop. Okay. And this syntax which you have already seen, or another way is another built-in function. Okay, one way of checking is what? Whether the end of file character has been reached or not. One way of checking is this one. If C is equal to end of file character, then break. Or you can also do it this way. While not end of file of the file. Means what I want to say is you are going to apply this function FEOF. This stands for file end of file. You are going to apply this built-in function. You're going to call it for your file. So what this will do, instead of comparing like this, whether the character is EOF character or not, what you can do is another syntax is you have to call this built-in function for your file by passing the file pointer as the parameter. So if the end of file has been reached, this function call will return the true value. So as long as it returns the false value, we need to perform the operation. When will it return false? When the file has not reached the end of file, that time it will return false. And if the file has reached the end of file, it will return true. So this is the syntax, right? I hope you understand. Logical not of this. So initially there is some content in my file. So what will happen? It will return the false value. Means end of file has not been reached. So it will return false. So this will return as suppose 0. So not 0 means 1. And 1 means true while condition satisfied. So while it is not the end of file character, I will execute my while loop. I will read the character, right? But once it reaches the end of file character, means suppose it comes over here after the last character in my file, then what will happen? This function will return the value true because end of file character has been reached. So it will become not 1, not 1 means 0, 0 means false, while loop will get terminated. Okay. We have seen such logic before also. I hope you understand. Next is I'm going to read the entire content of my file. So what will happen? I'm going to read character by character. So initially the cursor is over here. Then first character will be read, cursor will come after T, then cursor will come after H, cursor will come after E, cursor will come after space, after S, and so on. Each character will be read as the cursor moves ahead. And then finally cursor will come after Y. So this is the end of file position. So while loop will get terminated. So now the cursor or the file pointer is over here after the content of the file. Now what I'm going to do? Suppose I want to write from the beginning of the file. Means what? I want to write from the position, this one. From here I want to write something. Means what? I want to bring the cursor to the beginning of the file. Which function we will use? We will use the rewind function, right? And I want to write what? This string 4 I want to write. str4 is which string? New content. Means what I want to do? I want to write the string. Which string I want to write? I want to write the string new content. From where I want to write? From the beginning of the file position, start of file. So initially cursor had come up till here. So now I have applied rewind function. So cursor has come over here. And now from the cursor position onwards, I can do read or write. So from the cursor position onwards, I want to write. So what will happen? Overwriting will happen because already there is some content after the cursor, and over that content or on that content, I will have to write. Right? If I want to write from the cursor position, which is at the beginning of the file, then what will I have to do? I will have to overwrite the already existing content. So how this will happen? Let us see. So I want to write the string new content. So this character T will get replaced with N. Then H will get replaced with E. E will get replaced with W. New, then space will get replaced with space and content. So S will get replaced with C. This will become O, N, T, E, N T. So what I have done, I have overwritten the already existing content, right? And why only this much I have overwritten? Because I had to write only this much, right? What was my string? My string was new content. So new content has been overwritten, and the previous content which was existing is this one. Blue exclamation, it's a sunny day, right? So now what the content of the file will be? The content of the file will be new content, blue exclamation, it's a sunny day. Okay, this will be the content of the file. So what has been erased now? What was behind the, what was already existing was the sky is. This much has got replaced by new content, right? I have written that new content has got replaced, right? Now after writing this, I want to read the content of my file. So now what will happen is, just a minute. So now this is the content of my file. So now I have written new content. So now my cursor position is over here. So from the cursor position onwards, I will be able to read or write. I want to write, I want to read now. Okay, so what I will be able to read from here onwards. So I will be able to read blue exclamation, it's a sunny day, right? So now when I go to read my file, what will get printed? Whatever the content is after this new content words, after new content, whatever I have written in my file, I will be able to read that much. Okay, from the cursor position onwards. So I'm going to read it and I will print it. And then finally I will close my file. Right? So manually dry I have manually traced out this program, and now we will run this program and see whether our expectation and the actual output is matching or not. So I'm going to run this program. So file opened successfully. So this if else has been executed. What has happened? I was able to open the file successfully. Then first thing what I have done, I'm going to read the file. Initially the file was empty, so it should print file is empty. See, file is empty has been printed. Then what I'm doing, I'm going to write inside the empty file. What I'm going to write? This one. The sky is blue. I have written it inside my file. And then after writing the sky is blue, what will happen? The cursor came at the end of the file. So after that, I wanted to read, means from the end of the file position, I wanted to read. So there was nothing in the file after the last character. So what has been printed? Reading the file Currently file pointer is at the end of file, right? This message I have displayed. Currently file pointer is at the end of file. If the file pointer is at the end of the file, from there onwards, if you read anything, it will be empty or blank, right? Then what I have done, I'm going to write something. What I'm going to write, the string 2, it's a sunny day. So I've written it and then printed the message successfully written from end of file position onwards, right? So now what is the content of my file? The content of my file is these two sentences. The sky is blue and it's a sunny day. So now what I want to do is I'm going to read from the beginning of the file. So if I want to go to the beginning, I have to call the rewind function. So I have currently end of file, so no content was printed. And then successfully I have written, just a minute. So reading from the beginning of the file, since currently file pointer is at the start of file. So after writing this content, after successfully writing, what I've done, I want to read from the beginning. So I've called this rewind function, and then it will tell reading from the beginning since file pointer is at the beginning. So now file pointer is at the start or at the beginning of the file. So now I can read which two sentences which I have written. The sky is blue and it's a sunny day, that is getting printed, right? After that, what I have done, I have again brought my file pointer to the beginning and I've written the new content. I've written the string 4, that is new content. So now the content of my file is this one, new content, and then which has been overwritten, and then the remaining content. So now when I go to read my file, it will print. I've written new content. So after that, the cursor has come. So the cursor will be able to read after that content. So currently file pointer is after the text new content. And after new content, file pointer was where? File pointer. I've written this new content, no? So my file pointer has come here. So from here onwards, I will be able to read. So what should get read? Blue, exclamation, it's a sunny day. So that is what has got printed over here. Blue, exclamation, it's a sunny day. So now I have shown you how these modes are working. W plus, R plus, and A plus, and how it can get executed. Right? Now I will have read what? I have read this much. It's a sunny day. Till there I have read. So now where is my file pointer position? Now the position of my file pointer is over here. So if I want to read from the beginning of the file, what I'll do? I'll call the rewind function so that file pointer comes over here. And then I can perform my operation from here onwards, either read or write. Right? So you rewind this video, go through it again, try to solve this on your own, and then execute this program as well. And I hope you'll get these concepts. Right? So thank you for watching this video. We'll cover the remaining in the next video.